The sweet science of rock candy. Imagine you're in your kitchen, surrounded by shiny pots, spoons, and jars filled with sweet syrup. Today, your kitchen is not just a place for cooking. It's a special lab where sugar turns into crystals right before your eyes and tasty science comes to life. Have you ever seen a geode? It's a rock that looks just like any other on the outside, but inside, it's full of glittering crystal formations. In today's experiment, we're going to try something similar, but with sugar, creating tiny, sugary geodes that you can eat. Making rock candy is not just a simple treat. It's an experiment that involves scientific principles like temperature, concentration, and patience. Why patience, you ask? Well, growing sugar crystals is a bit like watching seeds grow into plants. It takes time. It all starts with sugar and water. We need to mix them together to make a syrup. And here comes our first science lesson. How much sugar do we need for how much water? This is called concentration, the ratio of sugar to water. A lot of sugar makes it easier for crystals to form, but how much is just right? With syrup ready, we then heat it up. Heat makes the molecules of sugar move faster. Once we cool down the syrup, the molecules slow down and settle together in crystal patterns, a bit like snowflakes. Isn't it amazing that every crystal is a record of how fast those sugar molecules decided to settle down? Now enters the string, our seed. This part helps in nucleation, which is a fancy word for the very start of crystal forming. By adding a seeded string where we want our rock candy's crystals to grow, we get to see the sugar starting to build its beautiful microscopic architecture. If we get the nucleation right, we can control the size and clarity of the crystals. Batches of rock candy can turn out totally different just because of small changes in our ingredients or methods. Even how you stir the syrup or where you let it sit can affect the candy. Every small adjustment means new lessons in chemistry, sculpting the edible world into shapes and flavors. As you wait for your sugary geodes to grow, think about how every dessert you make is not just delicious, but also a piece of science you've created. So, grab your spoon, your string, and a curious mind. Let's start this sweet science experiment and explore how chemistry turns kitchen creations into lessons you can taste.